Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ESBN podcast. My name is Chippy. I'm your host, and you are listening to us on 89.1 WIDR FM. First things first, we're going to go through a few quick introductions. It's our first time back after being on break, so I hope you're all excited to get back into some of the esports Bronco news that has been circling around for about a week or so as we've gotten into our seasons and are getting things started. But first things first, I want to introduce a few of us. I point over to my friend across from me right now in the room.
Hello, I'm Aaron. I'm known as Captain Daddy XL. I'm a former club Overwatch player, Overwatch 2 coach with the club. And since Club Overwatch 2 doesn't exist currently, all I'm really doing is casting and doing a bunch of production for the varsity program.
A man of many talents.
Heck yeah, Zach, hello.
Hello, I'm Zach. I've been here before. In-game name is Meridian. I'm the varsity League of Legends coach here. Yeah, that's me.
And then Evan Smevin.
Yeah, it's me, Evan. I'm the guy that does all sorts of stuff, but Overwatch is big in big season now, so I've got a lot more busy with what we're doing. So I'm excited because it's gonna be a fun, long, eventful semester.
Definitely. To give you guys an idea of our kind of schedule going in today, we're going to talk about the Overwatch 2 team. They just played against Ball State, and what I would say has been their best series against them by far since I've ever seen Ball State's high-tier program. So it was a very good match, but a tough one still to see. Campus Clash was also happening this past week. We had played against GVSU in a best-of-5 series in 5 games, and we ended up taking the cake there, 4-1 in games, only losing.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, spoiler alert. Got it. But we're going to talk about all the games.
Now, man.
Yeah,
Time moves fast, bro. Keep up.
Nobody really got.
We're going to talk.
Watch that.
We're going to talk a little bit about the league season with Zach as they're also playing the spring semester, as well as the Overwatch 2 season with Coach Evan here. And something I'm going to add on to the end is a little bit of news we'll talk about with the new Overwatch League changes. Changes in quotations, because there's a little bit of a difference that they've put into their season. So I have a couple more Overwatch friends with me here to talk about that as well. And to give a little insight.
We love Overwatch.
So,
Well, LCS started
It's
up
the best
again.
game.
it was true. LCS does start. But
True.
Evan and Aaron, you guys were at home, or sorry, Evan wasn't at home. He was at the arena coaching his team. Aaron and I were at home spectating, though.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, no, the Twitch chat on the ESC conference Twitch channel just was going insane because it was just me ripping a bunch of copy pastas from the club Discord and changing them all to Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Just sending them constantly.
It was definitely an experience. So, like, obviously, we play in a conference against other MAC schools, and they decided that we would be streamed our match. So we weren't able to do production ourselves. So Chippy got the night off.
Yeah. It was nice.
Aaron got the
So
night off
it
too,
was
by the way.
weird. I'll say like going into it, it was like I knew Ball State's program was extremely good. I didn't have much expectations of the players. And then we kind of came out swinging and just beat them on map 1, which was very surprising. So
Very
energy was all over the place. And unfortunately, the rest of the series was just close, and we ended up losing the next 3 maps. But I think one thing goes our way. We probably could have won it, but it was exciting seeing the improvement, especially with how we only really play one real comp because of Tyler on Doomfist. But we make it work.
Wait, you're a Doomfist one-trick comp?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
Tyler,
Yeah, but Tyler
Yeah, we gotta
beats
scrub
everyone
this.
up.
We gotta scrub
Tyler
this on the
was
episode,
going
man. The
insane.
other
Aaron and I-
schools
They
are
can
gonna
watch
find
it.
out,
They
bro.
can watch it.
The other schools
Listen,
are gonna
those schools will know more than
No,
the
they watch it, but it's just your first game, man. You know,
listen.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Zach.
That is a bluff. It's a
watching
good bluff.
watching that match back, there were like maybe 3 fights that were like coin flips, and if they would have went our way, that series was maybe 3-2, 2-3.
Yeah.
So it was
No, I'm
very
sure.
close.
I think it gives me hope for the rest of the semester with who we're gonna play against. But it also is funny because if they played like they did against us, I don't think they're gonna win. I previously thought they'd win because they had made Ball State's program had made the fall finals in Rocket League and Valorant, and I was like, they're gonna have a good Overwatch team, and I'm sure they have a good League of Legends team. And
They
like,
do.
so it's like
They do.
it's like I was
They
like,
kind of just came out of nowhere. I don't
yeah,
know.
they just put a lot into their program, and so it's like winning that first map was awesome. It just was like wow, and then they made adjustments, and we weren't able to keep up. And you know, I knew of most of their players. I think both their DPS and their supports I've seen in years past, and their tank was different. We There used to be a guy named Manway, but I have no idea where he is now. He might have transferred, but
Something
I don't know.
even
They just have a different tank.
wanted to bring up is, speaking of new players, we have a new player who's joined our Overwatch varsity roster this
We
semester.
have
Greemy.
3 new players.
Greemy specifically is one of the people I wanted to talk about
Why
because
don't you want to talk about Max or Jacob?
because we'll get there.
We should talk
Yeah.
about Max.
We
too,
will.
But yeah, but specifically Grant because he is a starter on
Yep.
support
Yeah.
coming up from the club team.
And that's a big reason why I have Aaron here as well today. Aaron and you were also worked hand in hand coaching that club's team last semester. So I kind of wanted to go into a little bit details with that with Aaron, kind of seeing the growth with the players throughout the semester. What's that like, especially, starting that regular season off so strong and then, heading into the playoffs and having such a close playoff run into the semis?
Yeah, so that club team, the club team from last semester was just juiced. I don't know what happened. They just came to play every day and they just knew what they were doing. Evan was constantly scaring me throughout the entire season because he was like, I'm just going to pull Grant up to varsity right now. I need him. And I'm just like,
There was
"You
a point
can't
that
do
it could have happened.
I was like, you cannot do that to me. It will break my heart. It will break everyone's heart. And then we will just start losing games. And he
You
was
guys
like,
got Craig Joe.
Yeah,
You
Craig
had, you
Joe's
had
the
my
dude.
prodigy.
He was
did
so
have
good.
And it probably would have worked out and we still would have ended up winning games, but then we would have had to shift a tank player onto DPS or something like that, or well, not really, but to make
Ian would have played flex support.
would he have?
Ian's the
Yes.
GOAT. He could flex all
He's
3
fine,
roles,
GOAT.
couldn't he?
But it was nice to get him development because our main season didn't start until now. And it's the same thing with how I approached last semester with varsity DPS being Buha or X7RZ and Jay Diesel because he had no experience with... A lot of these players go into playing in collegiate esports with no experience. I think certain ones cater more, like a lot of CS players come into collegiate esports and are just like, I've already played on a team or
Yeah.
done stuff like that. And here and there, like some Rocket League stuff too. I did it with Open Division and Overwatch before I even joined a team, so I had some brief experience. A lot of these players don't have experience playing on a team. They just have ranked experience. It's completely different. So it's like developing that in how you talk to teammates. What's it like to scrim? It's completely different. So like it was nice developing Grant down on the club team and Jay on DPS as a on the bench. Because now Jay's starting full time and now Grant's up there. It's a completely different environment. So
And then to tie that back in, we've reunited a trio that I haven't seen for quite some time. The Arcane, Squammoose, and J Money
Yeah,
combo.
that-
They're all back together.
that goes back.
it goes back
a
a
Goes
long
back to when
time.
I was still a player.
You were still playing, that's
I
right.
was
Yeah.
playing. That was the
I was a club officer.
Yeah, you were.
It was a long time ago. That was one of the best club teams too because it had Aaron on it. It had
was a
Max.
6v6
or
comp
no, it
too,
didn't
right?
have Max. Max was casting at that time.
He was. That's
and
right.
it had Jacob and Zach both on DPS, and it was so funny because I'll never forget being like, "Yeah, we'll just play. We'll put you on Genji, Zach, and you'll dive the extremely good Ashe player," and that's how we won a match.
We also had a. Well, no, Vexa Jason came
No,
after
that
I
was
stopped playing, and that was when Jack.
He tried out
was
for
coaching
Rocket
the
League
team.
originally.
Who was
too.
the
That
main
funny
support
part.
on that team?
Was
'Cause it was-
Vexa tried out for Rocket League?
Yeah, he did. The varsity Rocket League
who's
team.
the flex support? on it?
Flex
no,
support
I knew who
was-
the no.
yeah.
Ava was the
Ava Crow's Justice. Zoa
was the flex support, but who was the main support back then? I cannot remember.
It was Jacob, wasn't it?
No, Jacob played DPS, played Cass.
My
Yeah,
cogs
but
are
he's
turning in my
casting
head.
over.
I have no idea who it was. Because it was Caleb and you.
That was so much fun. I miss playing Diva. If there's one thing that I could change about Overwatch, it would be please
Yeah.
bring back 6v6. I want to play off tank
I
again.
don't know. We can't.
But that's
I
besides
didn't even
the
play the game, and 6v6 was so much better.
It's
It was
it's
so much
exciting
better.
having Jacob and Max on varsity just because, they're just there in case I need them.
They are the buckshot boys.
They are. They got the energy.
I'm gonna be real. Like they're not gonna ever really find real time to play, but they're just because they don't fit into the system as well. We have, and I need subs in case
WMU systems.
I need
When
them
you
in
need a brawl
case something
comp first.
happens.
That's true. You got a brawl comp. You got to have those players ready.
So yeah, and they'll get time when we have easier matchups, like upcoming on Tuesday, and I
I
can
was
talk
going to say,
about
you
that
think
later.
they're going to play next
Definitely.
week?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
So to further tie into more of the stuff that's coming up from the next weeks we'll get into, but we're going to get a little bit of news from the previous weeks. Our campus clash versus GVSU has just occurred in this past weekend. If you guys all missed that online on our Western stream, let's give you a little bit of a recap here. Zach, our League of Legends coach, coached our beautiful 2-0 victory over GVSU. We also got to watch a tough defeat 1-2 in the Valorant match. But we could talk a little bit about the league game right now, Zach. I mean, how was that for the players in their first kind of in-person or LAN matchup live on stage?
Sure. Yeah. I think they were pretty excited for it. I forgot to tell them about it until like Tuesday.
Dude, my players have known about.
That is so awesome.
I said that
is so
specifically to
awesome.
make Evan mad.
I'm.
I wish we had like a video camera in here to like just have
could see Evan's
reaction
face. That
to
was so
disappointment.
funny.
Because I know some of the because your mid laner Alex is just has work at the amount of times he's
He
called
did
in
ha-
sick.
Wait, I don't know if we can say that on there.
They won't
They won't.
They
find
won't find
out.
It's a different Alex.
But yeah, it was different Alex. Yeah.
How many Alexes do you know? Hmm?
There's a lot of Alexes.
Yeah.
We had some fun with it. I kind of had a feeling that we were gonna do well. I have a bit of a rivalry with GV because we've played them so many times.
Mhm.
This is like our third time playing in like, well, 2 times there weren't really real stakes, and 1 time at Bethel. That's we defeated them in the finals at Bethel to win that
Nice.
in 2021.
Yep.
Spring.
That
So
was
yeah,
that after the other campus clash we did where we lost.
Yeah,
too?
because
Okay,
I was
right.
missing 2 players. At
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
So they were not expecting us to.
Do
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's a new season. League is a ton of fun right now. I think strategically it's gotten a lot deeper. Don't shake your head, Evan. At least I don't have to shoot.
He was playing League
shields.
earlier today. That is
Yeah, there you
true.
go. All of you guys play League.
I
know
did
you
actually.
do.
I played a game
know
earlier
you do.
today. Aaron
Everyone
doesn't.
No one
Smite
wants to
too?
admit it.
Aaron's
This is
Smite player.
this is misinformation coming straight from Zach. I have never touched League of Legends.
Everyone
I
has
loves
not.
League.
refuse.
It's
better
if
Play
you-
League
it's
of
better if
Legends.
you don't.
Everyone loves League. It's
can't
awesome.
concur.
But yeah, first game I think we had a pretty good draft. I can't even remember what I picked first game now. I remember the second game more.
I was going to say the first game
What
was
was
a
my
little
jungler?
closer than the second game. But the second game, it was.
I had
that one was
Aatrox.
decisive.
I had Meki Aatrox game 1.
Wasn't he Aatrox both games though?
No.
No, he was Cassante game 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they picked Cassandra.
He got
to
his
do it.
he got his 2-1 tricks. For any
He did.
other schools listening to this podcast, if by chance, please ban Aatrox and Cassante versus me. I need to prove a point to my top laner.
Yeah.
Like just
tell him he's
please
not
ban
allowed to
those
play it.
champions so
Please
I
humble
can.
him.
You
I
can
can
tell him in
prove my
practice
point.
not to play it.
Well, then he gets sad.
Well, then how are
I
you going to
don't-
prepare him for when it
The
happens?
point of collegiate esports is enrichment and fun, and I want my players to have a good time. So I give him his little Cassante and
Yeah.
his little Aatrox champion. Anyway,
feeding
yeah,
a kid
we won
candy
pretty
right now.
convincingly. It was a good time. GV, the manager for GV asked me before the game, how do you? I don't mean this in a bad way, right? They just asked me before the game, like, how do you feel about BM? And I'm like, I mean, if you guys want to like emote or chat or whatever, that's cool. I run a pretty tight ship over here, so my players are probably not gonna say anything, but go for it. And then I went upstairs and I was like, guys, they asked if they could like BM. I don't know what they're thinking, but I just kind of want you to just, keep them quiet if you could. And we won pretty convincingly, so
Nice.
it was fun.
Yeah, we got to test out.
Because we haven't streamed League since
It's been a minute.
last
Chippy, my goat,
Yeah.
was working
last spring.
tirelessly
I did.
overnight, multiple OT shifts to
I
get
did.
the overlays up.
Yeah.
I
did.
cannot thank
It
you
took
enough
me-
for that.
It's okay. You're welcome. It took me a long time. I got the rest of them finished for our regular season last night as well.
Yep.
So
A lot of back
I'm
and
very
forth.
excited.
Chippy is the WMUEsports warrior. All right.
We'll put in hours. That's what
Real
we do.
Chip Productions
Somebody
over
make a
here.
GoFundMe
That's
going for
right.
this
Real
guy.
Chip production.
Yeah.
Chip Enterprises.
But the production was great.
Yeah, I think
I
it
got
went
to
well.
I got to spectate. It was fun. Production went well. And then we watched Valorant.
Yep, Valorant sadly had fallen down 1-2 versus GVSU. The first game that came out strong was a 13-5 win.
It's the WMU Classic, man.
But
A
that
cent.
second game,
A
it
cent.
really
we never lose a cent.
you lose a few rounds in that second game. They lost a couple major ecos that they needed to win, and they just started falling down 13-7.
Yeah, I don't
Excuse me.
understand how the timeline
GVSU
goes for how
in
those
the
things work.
third game, it was also 13-5, but the scoreline should have been like maybe like 11-8 after a while because there were 3 1v1 clutches we lost in a row. So
Man.
when you lose 3 1v1s in a row, your
That's
mental
crushing.
starts getting chalked, and then at that point, our players were kind of
I
at
think
a
there's
low.
a different reason.
So
I don't really want to
it
go
all-
into that.
it gets all low. It gets to be a bummer for a lot of those circumstances, and so they simply fallen 13-5. But it was tough. We got to see Icebox back in the meta for you Valorant players out there. It was really cool to watch.
Icebox.
I love this new meta of
Icebox is
Icebox.
awesome. I don't play Valorant. I'm terrible at it, but Icebox is sick.
Yeah, I refuse to install Valorant as well. I don't know, something about Riot Games.
I was about to say
just don't
something about
touch
Riot
those.
Games.
You're a hater.
So I'm
Grade
an
A
odd hater, as some might say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
now
that's
let's
But yeah,
do OQ Smite.
Smite 2
Smite
coming.
2, man.
It's coming.
I'll download it.
heading
Yeah.
into day number 2, though, we had 3 more games to play. We had
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Early in the morning, Rocket League to follow that up, and then Overwatch 2 had rounded out our day. I was wrong in the production stream, by the way. I thought it was Overwatch, then Rocket League that night, but it was wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, this was based on like how the event even worked. Like they travel to us and we travel to them. It's gonna be across 2 days, so we don't do too much all in one day because it's just a long day. So we were able to travel up to there, hour drive.
It was a pretty nice drive, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be super slick that morning, too, because
You
it
just have to
had
drive by the
terrible
the
snow.
landfill, so it smells bad for like 5
It's
minutes.
true. We were talking about that on the way there, too.
But yeah, we got there. I had been there previously. I think one of my players had been there previously, but other than that, I guess maybe just Alex on the Rocket League team, I
Mhm.
think, had been there before. But really, like, mostly new people had been there before. They have a cool little facility thing there. It's like a computer lab.
You should see their stream room. That was very nice.
Yeah, so there was supposed to be a stream. Unfortunately, they had way too many errors, and that's what Chippy spent his whole day on. He
I
came
did.
up to do club stuff, but turned out to just try and fix their entire production issues.
I did. And I got 90% of it fixed to the point where when I hit the stream button, the stream wouldn't come up. And I didn't know what happened. And then the audio for the cast just wasn't working. So
Man.
I fixed all the other issues, though. It was a lot of fun to fix them. And then I
Free labor.
yeah, they got free labor. But
Soldier.
I had a lot of fun. I gave them a lot of insightful tips, and they were very happy and very excited. The guy in the booth, I think his name was Andrew. Shout out if he ever finds this podcast. But Andrew was my goat. He was talking to me about how he was really loving production, and I showed him how to use vMix's Pro Tool GT Title Designer, which is their like advanced version of the free one you can use. And as soon as I showed him like 2 things in a row, he goes, I don't want to leave this booth anymore. I was like, what? All I want is
I'm
to get
locking
out of
you
the
in
booth.
here, Chippy. You're
No,
staying with me.
it's
Give me your
deep.
brain.
It's deep in that building, so it's like you could just hide away there forever,
Yeah.
probably.
But as someone who does production, I mean, like, you can't even call that free labor because now anytime they go stream at GV, they're going to know all these things and they're going to put on a good production for everyone who's watching
yeah.
it. So it's like,
I
it's,
can't wait to tune into one of those streams too to look at
it's
see how it changes.
enriching.
It was very fun, and they plan to do a lot of stuff. They plan to have a desk built soon, so they have like this analyst desk in
Yeah.
between matches. It's gonna look really
Can
pretty.
we have a desk?
They use their
Now
communications
standing's funnier.
room as like the communications room is where their production studio is, and it's just a little room. And then right next to it, they got like 3 like TV I don't know what they're called, but like production high quality cameras that are all pointed at a green screen, like your like TV news anchor
Yeah.
studio style. Yeah, just like that with like the projectors. It was so pretty. I was so jealous.
What if we got a desk that was shaped like the Ghost Bronco logo? And we
That's
just,
a lot
like,
to ask.
stood behind it. That would be sick.
I would love that. I think we should do that.
Stood behind it, didn't
We
say
could-
anything,
we could,
just
we
stared
could,
at the
like,
camera.
Pretend to ride it too when we won.
What the heck?
Yeah, riding the Bronco, man.
It's a
Yeah,
horse.
sure
You can.
But that
It's a
was
horse,
it
we
was,
ride.
it was a long day, but we had Super Smash Bros. Ultimate up first, and
My club boys.
that was exciting because I didn't know how it originally worked, but it's obviously like a fighting-esque game sort of. So they do 4v4.
Yep.
It's a 1v1 each time, and each team has 12 lives.
Yep.
And you swap out, and you have to stay in. You have to pick your character, and you say it at the same time, so you don't get counterpick.
Yep.
And it's a pretty exciting way to just play like a fighting game, brawly kind of just whatever. So it makes it feel more like a team-based game.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that game was exciting because I thought it might have gone fast, but it came down to the last stock and we won game 1. Came down to the last stock and GV won, and then the third game we were up by
one
2.
stock. Shout
We
out
had
to
2
my
stocks
goat.
left.
We're up by just that small margin. Shout out to my boy Sed, a new player on our Smash team. Found out he's competed at a lot of local events and beaten some top names recently. So this kid is getting there. He is
he the
a
one
lot
that
of effort.
played
Hero? He played Hero.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Hero was insane.
Yeah, Hero and Smash Ultimate, if you have not seen it, is a lot of micromanaging your ability and your mana bar. And
Hero?
it's just
From
insane.
Dragon Quest.
Yeah, from Dragon Quest.
It's just an
bad.
JRPG. Like, he has an MP gauge, and you can just have a bunch of different abilities. Like, the same thing he kept doing is just like
Helios?
No. he had like a sleep wave, and then he just could have a free hit and just knock them. And he also did just like a giant bomb that he could just like throw
it
at
either
someone,
was
basically.
called
It was like a
Whale
spell.
or Explode. It was awesome.
You need to calm down.
I'll
So
keep going, baby.
it was, but they had a really good Little Mac player that was running us pretty well, which made it
He was
close.
nuts.
He was like their last player to come up, but it was exciting, and I'm glad they had a good time, and I'm glad they won it because it did take some pressure off of the entire event. Because I knew at that point after Smash had won that we won the whole thing because I knew Overwatch would win, and it didn't matter what Rocket League did because we had won the League of Legends. So
It was a tough bout, especially watching the Rocket League guys. They were up 2-0 in the series. They played a best-of-7 Rocket League match against GV. They were up 2-0 originally, and then GV tied it up 2-2. And that's where I thought maybe the mental was becoming a tilter because they didn't have a coach there with them at the time. Our Rocket League team didn't. So it was kind of like it gets hard. It's kind of tough for them to really rally in that type of scenario. So, it was unique to see them come back. They got a 0-second goal in that game number 5 that just skyrocketed them ahead. The next game, they scored 3 goals in 30 seconds, and it was over. GVSU couldn't rally in time, and we won that one 4-2.
yeah, so then at that point we had won 3 of the 5 games. So my Overwatch match did not matter at all.
Yep.
It was just for fun. And so I treated it like that, and we played our starters on map 1, and then
Did they comment like using Fortnite?
yeah,
cards,
so my team sometimes to like save their mental just like equates everything that's happening into Fortnite terms, and I can't even translate most of it to you.
I don't know
It's a
either.
mystery.
But like
I
it
don't know
what
either.
they're
the problem is it works and it makes sense. Like it's just like they, when
If it
they
works,
say
why is
like
it a
when
problem?
someone's the most
problem
confusing
because we
one
don't
is
know.
they'll say X is 200, which is like their hit 200 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was, like,
Which
the whole
means
health
they're
bar in
low.
Fortnite.
Well, you have 100 shield now and 100 health plus 50 temp shield. That regens on its own now.
Basically, they're like one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
like
saying
that's
this person won.
That's like the weirdest
Hit
one,
200, hit
but like
200.
they'll like full
Correct.
box like to reference like building a box around someone, and
who
it's
got
just,
minis?
it's
I need minis.
everything, but like it gets them more attentive. So whatever works, man.
Yeah. Overwatch has historically been full of those.
So it's like so yeah.
Yeah.
Even that
What was
they
it,
came
Dorito
out
salad?
like
Those.
screaming on map. They came out screaming on map 1, and it was crazy because we're right in front of them. They're right there, and like, you guys, you can calm down just a little bit. And like, anytime they talk to me afterwards, they just look so defeated. It was like, yeah, we were, because they were trying to figure out how good we were, and we had a friend that goes to Grand Valley, and she sent a screenshot. I'm like, does anyone know their ranks? I'm like, I think they're all Grandmaster 1. I'm like, ooh, I'm like, we kind of were, but not really. And we just rolled them through everything, and I was able to put in Max and Jacob. And
Buckshot
switch-
boys,
switch-
they did really well.
boys, yeah.
They
switch.
did really
I
well.
swapped Arcane onto Tank, and we were on King's Row, and they just like Max played his Junkrat, which he's really good at, and like we just had a good time. And then we were quickly done with map 3. At that point, and we were just ready to get out of there because I definitely wanted to just get home because
To watch the Lions.
we were watching the Lions game.
And then the Lions took a W against the
Lions.
Tampa
It was
Bay
it was a
Buccaneers.
busy
Yeah.
day, but so basically, yeah, we won the whole event 4-1. We'll be able to put that score and the year on a trophy that is getting finalized, hopefully.
Mhm.
They were being weird about the trophy thing, but it's gonna be good to have
on the way.
that as like an established thing because like we had done this in the past and we lost 3-2 last time, but we
Me
like,
and Evan won our matches, by the way. That was
Yep.
when I competed on R6.
yeah, we won our
when I
6.
still
We lost
competed.
League of Legends that
bad,
time. We lost Valorant. That
bad.
I don't know. You were down your two. Like Trevor was playing in that game, and that was
It's
just
Bloopin,
weird.
who doesn't even go here anymore.
It's true. I think I actually went to the last
had
GV
Noah
campus
Chill and
class.
I think a bunch of you.
You
guys-
were
Yeah.
because wasn't Elijah? Didn't
Elijah
Elijah
was
get COVID?
not
No, I
no.
didn't-
Or
that
that
was
was
the
the
Trine
Trine
event.
event?
Student
Oh, that was
event.
the Trine event. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this was sort of the start of the official because now it has a new name, the Laker Bronco Campus Clash. You know,
Mhm.
it's got a cool logo. It conveys what it needs to. It's nice to have a 2-day event thing that each school can host their various things. And I hope it continues forever, literally forever. I think
It's awesome. I'm really excited
2100.
for what else we can do. I created a whole set of production assets for it, so I hope I can template those for future people's uses when I leave and no
you're
longer
staying
can work
forever.
for
You're
that.
never leaving.
I'm
Chip.
never leaving. You're
If I'm
so
still
right.
here, you're still here.
We're locking you in the arena.
You're
Oh,
also
cannot
listening
leave.
to 89.1 WIDR FM, by the way.
That is right.
Thank
If you have not been aware, go check out everything online at widrfm.org. We'd love to see you give some support on there. Check out some of the videos from all the other podcasts that they have available on there. Now to touch into some more topics, we've gotten past all the recaps, all the other news that's happened already. We're here for a little bit more insight, all right? So we're going to start with the League of Legends team. We finally are over a slump. The League players outed you on the podcast once already for your lost streak in
No
the
way.
in the
No
scrims.
shot.
They
You
did. It
weren't
was
on
Max
that
and
pod?
Jay.
I
You
guess it was
weren't.
at like 3.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't able to
Oh,
make
they
that
talked
one.
about our 13 game scrim loss.
Yeah, they were talking about it. But we've moved on from that, right?
The new
we
season.
we've gotten up. We've gone on the way up, and we've established, the foundation. Finally, we figured out what's wrong, and we've kind of moved up. And so, what are you thinking for this season? How are you looking in this?
Well, what was wrong was I didn't have anyone who wanted to play 80 carry. I had 80 carry players, and no one wanted to play 80 carry. And there's no 80 carries at Western Michigan University. There's like 3 of them. I got a lot of supports, no 80 carries. But yeah, going into the season, I ended up, after tryouts, I ended up pulling up one of our club players. His name's Lol.
Shout out to Lol.
His
He did great in
in-game
game 2.
name is Lol Prince Simba. Goes hard.
I don't think that'll fit on a jersey.
It's just Simba's going
He's
on
just
the
Simba
jersey.
on the jersey. Yeah.
I thought he was going to change his in-game name to just Simba, but he baited me and went with Lol Prince, so I'm like, he's just kind of using combinations of the 3 at this point. We're
I
just
know.
getting different variants. I don't know what he is at one day. He might
He's gonna be
switch it up.
Prince the next day, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna know why.
Yeah.
Order
Anyway,
3 jerseys. Yeah.
they, I picked him up because he was an 80 carry that we picked up, I think last year for club, and he's performed really well, and he got a penta in tryouts.
Good.
Lethality Caitlyn, which doesn't sound that crazy, but he was fighting against like double front line. So I was like, why are you even going lethality? But he got a penta, so I was like, okay, you know what, you're on the team, man. I brought up 2 mid laners, our previous mid laner, Floge, and our previous 80 carry, Kylon. I had them basically playing in like a 6-man roster style with them swapping out mid. However, Floge got a snowboard instructor job and is very busy getting into, I think Floge is a junior now. I could be wrong.
I think he is.
I don't know. I'm older than everyone, so I don't pay attention.
Boomer.
But hey, this is my time.
Didn't say anything.
want nothing
I was
from
silent.
peanut
You heard.
gallery.
You didn't.
He's not going to be able to be with us too much. He's still on the roster as an E-sub in case I need him, but Kylon is mostly playing mid now. And then we still have everybody's favorite, the pride of Kalamazoo, Meki, Aiden in the top lane, Colix, Jay in the jungle. And I've got Pifich, Max. He is new to CLOL this year. He was with us in the fall. I forget if I talked about him on a previous episode.
He was on the podcast.
He was on the
once already.
podcast?
Yep.
Great. All right. So everybody knows Max.
You can go
then.
take a look back at one of the podcasts I've done with the League of Legends team. It was Jay and Max.
Okay, perfect.
That's what I meant and referenced by them
Well,
too.
Max is awesome. Max has become a very key shot caller for our team where we desperately needed one. He's got a really good brain. He sees a lot of stuff that I don't see when I'm literally like watching over their games. And I trust him a lot with the calls. So combined with the new season, with topside objectives being brought into the game. If you're not familiar with League of Legends, in previous seasons, yes, Aaron raising his hand.
Yeah.
In previous seasons, the map is split into 3 lanes, and there's different objectives that both teams can get on both sides of the map. Previous seasons, in the early game, there was only an objective on the bottom side of the map. And there wasn't an objective on the top side of the map until the first 8 minutes had passed, which is a pretty long time. Now there is an objective on the top side of the map in the first 5 minutes, and then it spawns in 5 minutes, so it directly competes with Dragon. So now I can play with my strong solo laners in Kylon and Meki. We can play for that topside objective, snowball the game a bit, and then transition into playing towards bot side and taking over the map from there. And Lol has been instrumental in that strategy because he's very good at playing weak side. He doesn't need a lot of resources. He doesn't complain. He's got steel mental. He does not care.
have steel mental.
Yeah, he always puts his best forward, does not complain about anything. He's perfect, the exact kind of coachable person that I want to work with. So he's been excellent for us. We've been improving for sure, and we play Bowling Green State University this Saturday at 3 p.m. for our first CLOL game, and I think we should win that game.
I'm going to be there at noon, by the way, so I can make sure the VMix profile's finished.
Bet. I
That's
will
what
be
I have to
there
do.
10 minutes before we start.
Oh,
Man,
You're such a goober.
such dedication.
Listen, guys, I got a day job. It's hard out here.
It
man.
is.
It's a Saturday.
It really is. He's
I'm
sleeping in.
tired.
He's going to sleep in.
I'm
You should see it.
old.
You're up
If you
before
guys...
me.
I know Zach made the
Okay.
joke about watching Evan's reaction. If you could see how tired Zach is in this seat right now,
Dude, like
he's
I
so
look
tired.
like Yuta. I look like Yuta Akatsu, man. Like I don't have eyes anymore, bro. They're
He's
gone.
so tired.
Did I say Yuta's last name right?
Me.
I don't know.
I don't know. Someone's gonna call me out on that.
But yeah, awesome. It's great to hear that, especially from you. You know, it's the fall warm up was definitely a little tough on you guys for sure, from what I was able to hear and watch.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if I want to get into. We had the loser bug real bad in the fall. Like I said, nobody wanted to play AD carry. I ended up putting Kylon back to mid, and I switched Floj bot, and Floj was playing like Syndra bot lane because Orianna was really popular,
Man.
so we would counter pick it with Trist mid. We'd pick Syndra early because that was like a standard pick into Orianna, and then we would flex that bot and pick Tristana into the Orianna, and Kylon should win that matchup. That's kind of what we were doing, but Floj really did not enjoy playing Syndra bottom.
bot,
Fair,
yeah.
fair enough, you know, like I get it. It feels a little imposter to be down there, like
Mhm.
not playing an AD carry champion, but we couldn't really make it work. But I think with the changes this year, I think there's a lot of hope going forward. I think, I mean, we got seeded 6th. We're right in the middle.
Mm.
The top 6, well, a little bit above the middle. The top 6 teams go to playoffs. The way our schedule works, we have 3 games in a row. I think we should win. We also play Central on the 31st, by the way. Last day of January, we're playing Central, 8 p.m.
The only match that matters.
The rivalry.
We should win. We should win for sure. I will never in my history as a
everyone out.
coach lose to Central. I refuse. I won't let it happen. We're going to have a streak of 5 games that will be very tough, and we're going to have to steal our mental, and then we should win out from there. So if we do that, we'll make playoffs. So
It'll be a
yeah.
tough season for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited for
You
it.
should just make him play Smite instead.
Yeah, actually, no, we are. We actually
should
just
switching.
I was
going to
talk about
Smite.
that in about 10 minutes, but yeah, I just got the text. We're going to Smite.
Let's go.
Yep.
It's happened
got
finally.
the call from Tavian. We're going to Smite.
Finally.
All right. You guys are listening to 89.1 WIDR FM. And as much as we love the league players, everything that goes into their season, got a couple Overwatch coaches here who love to talk about Overwatch.
Yeah.
Now, to even preface going into this season, you know, it's going to be exciting to see for the most part. I think there's a couple meta changes that'll be fun, especially with us running onto a dive comp. So really, tell me a little bit about it, Evan and Aaron, who's been watching from the sidelines for the most part.
It's most of the same team. Not too much changes.
We're just gonna lean into what we're good at. And you know,
Funny
hope.
punch guy says we're going in on this person, and
Yeah.
then 4 people follow him.
I had someone ask me, like, I forget who was on the team. There's like, does Tyler get all the kills because he's good at Doomfist or because our comp? And I'm like, a little bit of both, but mostly because he's
Yes.
just really good at the character. So it's like, when we're playing all together, it'll work and pretty much beat anyone. And I'm honestly couldn't really tell you what the meta is right now. I don't know. I don't frankly care.
What happened to Maga? I said he was going to be super OP.
He was,
And he
then-
was.
and then
He was.
he
I'm
didn't
so
have any
smart.
real play time because there was no real tournaments happening. There were some things here and there a little bit, but nothing to where it actually even mattered. And since it was over Christmas break, there also wasn't any collegiate action, so there wasn't anything to go off of. He's still fine right now, but
Also, nobody in the Blizzard offices to push patches through to fix him during Christmas break.
Yeah.
So he just stayed broken and awful for. I don't know. I have very, very hard opinions on the character itself, especially on release, because it's literally just the most forehead Overwatch character that's ever been released. There's no actual ability play whatsoever. There's no rotating a cooldown, anything. It is just, I should stand here and shoot.
Yeah.
I can't stand here anymore. I should charge away and stop shooting. That's
and
the
then
entire
you get
character.
your E-back and you walk up, I'm immortal, and you beam
You
the far out
back
of the sky.
and then you go. You just.
It's one of those characters that's only fun for the person playing it, and everyone else is just having an awful time.
Actually kind of true.
I agree. When I played
I-
a couple of comp matches, it was awful.
When I played him like on the playtest, it was a lot of fun just charging in and ulting when people didn't really know how strong he was and like pressing my buttons, and then I would just scream into my mic as loud as I physically could with infinite ammo and just do circles. I felt like a phalanx turret, dude. It was awesome.
That's essentially what he.
I don't have to worry about any new characters unless like I'm trying to think like we just got the new hero. So and the new season comes in like 20 days. I don't think we're gonna get a new character while we're still in our season.
I don't think so. You don't get another character.
Maybe a
until
new
the
map,
next.
but that's if they even add it to the map pool. So like we won't have to worry about anything.
Then
There
they
might
drop
be
a
some
random
meta changes
game
per
mode on
se.
you guys.
Yeah.
It's like what?
I don't think Clash will be added into this thing as well, so we won't have to worry about too many changes. But as far as matchups, obviously we're 0-1, but we only have a -2 map differential, so that one map could matter at the end of this. But our matchup, like we play Toledo on Tuesday, who, to my knowledge, in the 3 or 4 years we've played in this thing, Toledo has won 3 matches
Man,
total. They've
That
only beaten
sucks.
the other bad team, which
like
was
the
Northern
Detroit
Kentucky.
Lions when they go 0-16.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
to
don't.
make the sports.
I don't know. It's just like we should be fine, and that'll be on the ESC stream as well on the 30th.
Another day off.
Yeah. But then like we'll play Ohio, and so like a lot of like I feel like our season's gonna be like loss win, loss win, loss win, maybe 2 losses and then maybe 2 wins. Like it's gonna be so back and forth with what we win and lose. Maybe after spring break we might go on a little bit of a streak, but we don't play Central until the last game of the season, which isn't until mid-April.
That
So-
just
You
makes
guys
it
go till
even easier to
April?
set up
Yeah,
an
we only
in-person
play like
event,
1
you
game
know?
a week and sometimes 2.
Oh, we gotta play 2.
Yeah, so it's like we have a long time, but I think we'll be able to do what we always do, which is barely sneak into playoffs at 7th seed and then lose in the first round because we'll play one of the top teams and who has a lot more funding than us. But you know, if I can finish above 500, I'll be happy.
We don't need no stinking money.
Nah,
We
so-
got guts.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all we need
But
here.
it's
at
gonna be
Western.
it's gonna be a long fun
Degenerates.
season.
We got an
People playing
arena
until
with
3 a.m.
computers in it.
We got some PCs. They're mounted on the desk now, so there's actual
Yeah.
desk space. Let's go. Thank you,
And-
Tavian.
And we're getting jerseys. So, that's really all that you need.
That's all you need.
That's all you
You're
need.
a real gamer at that
You need
point.
to look like it.
As
That's
long
it.
as they play until 3 a.m. like they normally do, I think they're fine, right?
As long as I have to leave the Discord call because there's Overwatch comms going on, the Overwatch program is bustling.
As long as they're spending half of their dining dollars a semester on Red Bulls, it's fine. It's fine.
What is up with some of the esports? So my team is like that with caffeine. They just
So
replace water with caffeine. I don't get it. It
I
scares
think
me.
a portion of it is like they're technically student athletes, but they don't actually like do physical activities, so they don't need to stay in like pristine physical fitness.
So
They're
we're sacking for
doing
late game.
homework, and a lot of them also have jobs outside of school, and then they have to practice. They scrim 2 or 3 times a week and play a game a week or 2 games a week. So it's like I need to stay awake for way longer than I should, and
It's
then
kind
they're
of that
just like
triangle of like sleep, like school, social life, and
And like every
Where
single
we're at.
esports player is like 5 feet away off of the triangle completely, just like
Yeah.
in their own little zone.
Dude, I
like,
have
what am I doing here?
A really good story to tie into that. I know maybe I've told some of you this story, but about the when I tried a Bang energy drink for the first time. And it was my first ever collegiate comp match in R6 that I tried this Bang
the
energy
first
for.
one.
Yes, my
You're
first ever
already
match.
Nervous?
Oh, I was terrified because we had to play Michigan Tech at the time, who was like their B team wasn't ranked, but they had scrimmed with their main team all the time, so they were a top ranked team, pretty much. And we go in, and I had chugged half of the energy drink in the first 3 rounds, and I was like, man, this is so good, it's so yummy. Oh my gosh, I feel so energetic. And then like I chugged the other half in 1 round for some reason, right? I'm just going crazy. We're winning the rounds. We won the first map 7-2, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'll be right back. I had to use the restroom real quick. And I stand up and I let go of the keyboard and mouse for the first time, and my hands were shivering. Like they were quaking. And I'm like, why are my hands shaking so bad?
I wonder.
And then I
just
laid off of the
consumed-
energy drinks for like 2 weeks.
You just consumed a day's
And then
worth
we
of
lost the
caffeine
second
to
map.
All that for nothing.
There's a
Producer Adam saying, why did I do that? I was absolutely petrified, and I had a long day of classes. So I really
Tried
thought
to
I
numb
needed
the
an
pain
energy
with
drink to do
extreme
it. He's saying
stimulants.
shame on me.
I think the error in your ways was acknowledging it. If you had never acknowledged it,
I wouldn't have thought about it.
You wouldn't have thought about
Well,
it.
it was
and you
just
probably
weird.
would've been fine.
When I
True.
stood up, I just felt like I was like moving fast, and then I looked at my hands, and I was just like,
So
"Ooh,"
like when you're on a trampoline for a while and then you get off the trampoline and you feel like you're still bouncing.
yeah, you're still bouncing and spinning. Yeah, it's exactly what it was like.
I don't want to skim over what philosopher Evan just said. Like if you ever have a problem, just like pretend it's not there.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
great.
No,
I
that's
just
not
think-
what he meant.
I think in this niche situation,
This
that your mind
specifically.
is like, wait,
If
I
your
am
body
like
is ever taken
running
over
on
by
like all
chemicals.
I'm saying this as I'm chugging a rock star.
Yeah,
as
my man is drinking
we're
a rock
This
star
is
right
not free, legal, or psychological.
I am not a
I am not
doctor.
a licensed therapist nor actual lawyer. As much as everyone else.
I gave Evan an honorary doctorate.
that. Okay,
because
I don't know
you
what I
can't do that.
I can't do anything with that though, unfortunately.
I mean,
so
you could
got
write it
you.
on a resume, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I have a semi-similar story about being at Bethel last spring because both Overwatch teams, the club and the varsity team, both got to travel to Bethel. And I just remember Kevin Kiefer sitting there, and he's, playing at the computer, chewing gum, and he's cracked out. And like, we're like, oh, Kevin, like you're really going at it. And he turns over to some of the other players. I think it was either Luke or Joe specifically. And he was like, do you want some caffeine gum?
That goes back years because he's
That
always
is
done that.
so funny.
Kevin is the caffeine gum king.
He just eats so much caffeine. I was like,
This is what
whatever.
I'm saying. The esports gamers, like, we need to have like a health and fitness class about like
Intervention
caffeine
about
is,
why
like,
caffeine is not good
be
for you.
careful, guys. Like you just have
It is-
your cup of coffee.
I will say it is pretty awful for you in moderation. It can be used as a supplement because
Definitely.
it's unregulated by the FDA. But
Aaron is a
you know?
doctor. This is legal advice.
this is not
This is
legal
not
advice,
legal
nor is
advice.
it medical
Yeah,
advice. This
I
is
may
real,
be in a
genuine
personal
fact.
nutrition course right
Energy
now,
game
drinks
in
are
Minecraft.
indeed unregulated by
in Minecraft.
In
I know,
Pal
this is
World.
my-
I
this
don't
is
think we have as
Power
many of
Virus.
those issues anymore, thankfully. At least our current Overwatch team. But
It's true.
The Overwatch team is adults.
They are.
All of them are.
Responsible adults.
Jason just
I think
bakes. a
Jacob's the
million
only one
cookies.
that's not 21 or up. So it's like an older team.
Yeah.
No, Tyler's not.
Tyler's
20.
also,
20.
21. Yeah, he's 20.
He
So
doesn't
it's like,
turn 20
I mean, they're all
until,
at
like,
least
he's
20 years
20.
old. Like, it's not like we have some 18-year-old freshman that's like impressionable by like our weirdness.
Jason just bakes a bunch of goodies. I had when I went over for the baking
I'll
day,
get you on the team. Don't worry about it.
I had like 13 cookies. We had like a baking day. I did
Yeah.
my homework. We were watching TV, and I was just in his apartment, and he made a million cookies. I got so sick when I got home that night. I ate so
you
many.
Probably
sweets.
ate like 2 sticks of butter, dog.
I probably did.
But
Circling back to the butter, sorry.
What?
We need to have the WMU butter mile. I'm bringing Trevor Bluefin
We're
back,
not bringing this up again.
and we are having the butter off.
we're not having the.
This
butter
is a
off.
2018
We live in
standard.
Michigan.
Bluefin Trevor, old club president, old club
I don't think
president.
We are not
I
going to
don't
get
know
into
what the butter off
is.
because
We're
that
sitting
is,
in
that
this
that
old-
goes in the
I've never heard
vault
of.
of
In
the
the
WMUEsports.
old
of
student
things.
universe computers. Just like chilling, talking about Overwatch in a practice, and he goes, anyone else just used to like house sticks of butter when they were, like a kid, just like go to the fridge. And me, being a Midwesterner from Michigan, was like, yeah, I've done that before.
No, that had to be a bit. No, that had to be a bit.
No, it was 2 of 2. It was just those two. No one else
man.
admitted to it.
No, the universe combined to put both of y'all on the team.
you kidding
2
me?
butter slammers on the
Are you
team.
kidding? Butter slam.
adults at this time, and I'm sure, like, for like 13, 14 years at least, neither of us had eaten butter just by itself. Like, you're a little
Oh, this
Chippy
is an
is
insane
dying.
story.
Chippy's
I've
dying.
never heard this
Chippy
story.
is dying right now.
Oh my gosh.
How do we get
Adam and I
here?
are crying right now. This is so funny.
Anybody you're just like anybody house sticks of butter. Winston one. I really want some butter right now. Diva behind.
It's so funny how, like,
I don't know. We're some of the oldest people in the program, and I mean, yeah.
Sorry, Adam. You can't hear Adam, but Adam is laughing and going, "We need to fill up the arena fridge." The Mountain Dew one with sticks of butter.
I don't know. Some of the things
Layer
that are
it.
left in there, man, you could probably churn into butter.
There's
At
nothing
some
in
point.
the Mountain Dew fridge.
No, we're not talking about that one.
The kitchen fridge.
Yeah, we're talking about the kitchen fridge, baby.
Oh, okay.
Well, that
The
one
Mountain Dew
Frigid
one
air,
is
baby.
not working.
Well, I don't know.
We have water in that one, or Mountain Dew as well. Shout out
Yeah.
Pepsi.
Pepsi. Woohoo, Pepsi. Lions.
Yeah. So
Aren't the
Well,
Lions
anyways-
oranges in
in there
Pepsi?
too.
Am I wrong?
yes.
They are?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Let's go. No, like the Lions.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Let's go. I'm so smart. I love brands.
Yeah.
Now that's gone.
The Pepsi.
Really? That's
I
gone.
think it's gone. Yeah, I was there. I was
Oh.
there on the 4th of July.
That's actually all I had for this podcast. Funnily enough, we tied it in some really good stories to wrap it up there at the end. So I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this first edition back. The stories at the end are really goofy. I've never heard the butter one, so that
Neither,
one
man.
really.
I
caught
didn't
me
know
off guard.
Aaron was a
How do you
butter
not know about the
freak.
butter?
I
We
know,
are going
that's
to
why
be
I'm
discussing
confused.
all the old stuff tonight.
That's so cap.
Just like, hey, Trevor, we gotta have the butter on. And then it extended out into like, oh no, because we all live in the same like apartment complex. It was like, oh yeah, we're gonna just have the butter mile. And it's you just go.
It
Guys
gets
are
worse. It gets
crazy.
worse.
You have to house a stick of butter and then run a stand.
I thought we weren't gonna get into it, but you know
We
the
are-
floodgates are open.
Maybe
Now
that'll be on a
everybody knows.
future episode when
Now
we bring
everybody
back some
knows.
older people.
We're gonna do a live pod of the.
good.
There's a
butter.
lot more to go with the semester. We'll try and get all sorts of new people. I know we've had
A lot of us on it in past.
We've had a
but
lot of players. We're trying to branch.
there's a lot of
out.
new people we can bring on for new
Mhm.
stories and new perspectives. So
So thank you guys so much for listening this week. My name is Chippy. You are listening to 89.1 WIDR FM ESBN. See you guys.
Go Broncos.
Woohoo.